Hi, friends. Hello. How's everybody doing today? Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday. Hope maybe you're getting some crafting in. That's always very relaxing for me, anyway. I have been doing some piddling around crafting today, and it's always very relaxing. On Sundays, I like to craft in between doing laundry and stuff like that. It's like a treat. Like if I go downstairs and switch out laundry, then I can do some more crafting. If I do the dishes, I can craft. That's how I get stuff done. So I don't know why this camera is vertical. I sat here and messed with it for about 5 minutes before going live, and I can't get it to be horizontal. And a lot of times people tell me it's hard to see. Hey, thanks, Cheryl. Thank you. When it's vertical like this. So I will continue to try and figure out what happened. So for next time, I will have it horizontal. So my name's Michele, and my business name is Belle Creations. I'm in Wichita, Kansas, and I have a ton of scraps today. A ton. I just finished up with the October paper pack for the subscription, the Creative Curiosity subscription pack, and I had some misprints and a lot of paper. And this is, I think it's like 120. It's thicker than 110, so it's expensive, So I am obviously not going to let that go to waste. So I have come up with some things that you can do when this happens. It happens to me, so I'm sure it happens to you. I have some pages that you can see are stripy because my ink was running out. And I'm just going to show you how you can still utilize this good paper even when it's kind of like a misprint. So let me turn this camera down and I will show you some of the things I've already done. Go down there like that. See, that's where I wish it was wide. I don't know what is happening. But so with everybody's paper pack, I always do like a little letter, and it messed up on an entire, I don't know, 30 pages or so. So again, this paper is really thick and really nice, and I didn't want to see it go to waste. So I took it. Oh, there we go. So I took it, and you can still see that there's writing, but you can't really read it. And that is, I did the same thing with my father-in-law's, his cards at his funeral. That was just in May. Any of them that were left over, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I don't mind that his story is on the bottom underneath some of the crafting stuff that I do, and I think it's kind of special. So I took this and just turned it into a tag. And this is something that I made from the paper pack, this little paper bag booklet here. Most of this stuff was in the paper pack. But this is one of the misprints. You can kind of see where it's stripy because I ran out of ink. And again, the paper's expensive, thick paper like that. I didn't want to throw it away, so I'm going to show you what to do and how to utilize your stuff like this. If you have a big old stack like this, I mean, that's a lot of really thick, heavy paper. So that's kind of what I've been doing in between my Sunday chores today. I have a little stack here of tags, pockets, things that I've made with the kind of remnants of stuff I had left over. I have this kind of linen paper. And it's nice to have this kind of stuff in your stash so that when you're making a journal, you don't have to stop and make stuff like this. You've already got a good stash of it. So this was a misprint, where the printer was running out of ink, but I feel like I've hidden the stripy ink really well, and I'll show you how I did that. This is another remnant that I took and did some fun stuff with. And this is another little, I don't always fold everything straight. I like it kind of cattywampus there. So I'll show you what I did. First thing on this, we're just going to make this into a tag. I'm just going to round the corners. And part of the theme, since it's October, part of the theme was autumn. So as you can see, the little booklet I made was more the autumn theme, but then the other part of the theme was not really Halloween, but kind of dark florals like this. So everybody got 2 packs. One was an autumn pack, and one was what I call romantic goth. And that's what these little candles and rose are from. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? So I'm not going to waste this good paper. So I'm just going to make this into a tag. And I'm going to cut off that corner and use it to measure this other corner here. And then, where's my little, here we go. I just got this that makes this kind of slot instead of the circle. And I'm obsessed. So I use it all the time now. I'll go back to the circle eventually. But right now, this is new. This is new to me. So I'm digging it. Okay. So here's the thing that I'm going to do. And maybe you've seen people do this. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. But I'm going to take some sandpaper. And I am going to actually sand my paper here. And that's the first step. I like the way it makes the paper feel when you sand it. It's just something a little bit different, We always are using the ink around the edges. And sanding your paper just does the opposite. Like I sanded this piece of paper that has her picture on it, and so you can see where the edges are lighter. And this little label here, I sanded the edges so that it's lighter. So it's basically like, if you think of it as kind of the opposite of it is distressing it, but not by making it darker, by making it lighter. And I'm wiping off the stuff I sanded with the baby wipe, which is also getting my paper wet. And that's going to help us with the next thing. So I'm just getting it damp. And you do not have to do this step on a paper that isn't this thick. This paper is extremely thick. So I have an embossing folder here. I've got my paper wet. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in here. And I'm going to use my rolling pin. I'm going to use my rolling pin because I do not have an embossing machine thingy. So you know what? We do what we got, right? We make do with what we have. Now, on some of my thinner paper, I don't have to get the paper wet. Okay. So now we've got this pattern. Can you guys see it? Yeah, you can kind of see there. Got this pattern on there. And on this one, you can see that then I went and I colored it. I was looking for my my chalk. I couldn't find it. Just regular old, you know, like chalk, like sidewalk chalk. I like to use it. You can use it. Do you remember as a kid when you would do rubbings? You can do that with embossing folders. And I bought these off of Amazon. They're cheap. They're not like really nice or anything. But I heard someone talking about what you could do if you didn't have a machine. And whatever, I can't remember, whatever she came up with, it wouldn't work for me. But I started doing, like with your charcoal pencils or with chalk, you can do like a rubbing if your paper's thin enough. Okay, this doesn't have to be completely dry. But I couldn't find my chalk, so I'm going to use my like gelato crayons. And let's see, I did pink last time. Let's do a different color this time. Maybe a metallic. I want to keep it in the same color family. So I'm just gonna do some coloring. It brings out that embossing. So this is silver, but I think I'm going to add some black too. Oh yeah, definitely needed something besides the silver there. Can you guys see the pattern? It's now showing up. I like to make ephemera. So I have a whole stash of, you know, kind of just ephemera pieces. Okay. Now, if you're not real happy with the blending of that crayon, you can take the baby wipe. These activate when wet, so they blend a little bit more after they're wet. But I want to do one more thing before we start decorating. And we're gonna do a little bit more sanding of the paper just because it's fun. It's fun. This is gonna bring back that pattern a little bit more now. It's kind of wet. It's a little bit wet. I'm good, Amanda. How are you? I did a quick peek at what you did. You did some ornaments today, right? I saw some Santa Claus. It is not even Halloween, y'all, and I've been doing a lot of Christmas ornaments and Christmas stuff. And I have to be honest, y'all, I got out my my October paper pack here again because I'm kind of tired of Christmas. I just needed a little break from it. Okay. So I've done the embossing, and I just used my rolling pin because I don't have a machine for that. And then I colored it with my gelato, and now I'm going to sand it back to make that pattern really pop. So this is my misprints. My misprints, prints that you have, paper that you have where you've run out of ink. Something didn't go right and you feel like you've wasted a bunch of paper. I've been messing around with my my paper mess ups from the paper pack and doing stuff with it so I don't have to waste the paper. Hey, how are you? Hi, Kathy. Thanks for hopping on. So now we have, there it is. I did some silver and black on here. And you can't even really tell. Let me find. So here's what we started out with. This is one of my paper mess ups where my paper wasn't feeding into my printer right, and it only printed on half of the paper. This is like 120, 130 pound paper. So I didn't want to waste it, but I didn't necessarily need, this is the letter that I put in the paper pack, but I probably have 25 or 30 of these. So not letting that go to waste. And this is where we ended up. So you don't have to throw out those kinds of mistakes because you can see that there's writing under there, but you can't tell what it is. So let's see. Where's my, I knew that I had some ribbon here. So this is one of the ribbons that was in there in the pack, and I'm just going to take it. And this tag can be done, really. I mean, you don't really need anything else. You can we could do the same thing as we did here on the back, but it would be the opposite as far as the darks and lights. See, you can kind of see. So the parts that are, of course, risen on this side, it would, are dark on the other side would be light on this side. But you could continue to embellish this. But if I just leave it like this and put it in my ephemera stash, then it can be you know, customized to whatever I use it for. I think we need that whole thing. But yeah, I'll just stick this with the rest of my tags and stuff that I have, and I am set for when I need a little short fat tag. Oh my gosh, you guys, am I skipping out? I looked up and I was frozen. Hey, yeah. I see some people that have hopped on that I didn't see. So there. So that's that. Waste not, want not, as my grandma used to say. Okay. So that's that. And that is with a really thick cardstock. So let's say, let me find one that's printed, that you have some scraps that aren't, you know, we all have that kind of scrap paper that's not real thick. Let me grab a piece of that. So I've got some paper like this. It's not real thick. So you don't have to get it wet. Well, let me get another one of these. Like I say, this little pack of embossing folders, there's 4 of them here. If you don't have a rolling pin, like I got the other one wet and used a rolling pin to get it to do that on the thick paper. But this paper that's thinner, this is something that's kind of fun. Let's take our sandpaper here. And just use the embossing folder and some sandpaper. And this looks really cool if you have a paper that, like has an image. I'll show you the other one I did. And see, the pigment does come off. Oh, I don't have a machine. And on this thin paper, I don't think you have to spritz it. On this really thick, this is like 120, 130. I had to get it to work, I had to spritz it. But so you guys can see just some sandpaper on your page. This works really well too if you have a journal that you're working on and the color just isn't quite right, like maybe you have like a vintage magazine or you know, something where the colors are good but they're just too there. Just take a little bit of sandpaper in one of your embossing folders and, you know, it dulls it down just enough that it works perfect. And then I don't know, this is relaxing to me, just kind of sitting around playing with the paper. And then I just put it in my little bin of ephemera. And then when I'm working on a journal, I have that out. So I could also, you know, this is also kind of how you figure out, I don't know, this is how I figure out like different ways to fold things, different ideas. This would be a cute, not really a belly band, but kind of like a peekaboo pocket where you could have a long skinny tag. And that would be cute to be used like that. The other paper that I did that with the sandpaper, what did I do with it? Oh, it was this one. It was this one. So see, when you have an image on your paper, so it's not risen like this one. This one has the texture. You can feel this isn't, because I just did it with the sandpaper. So if you don't have it in you, if you don't have it in you to even use your rolling pin, just use sandpaper. And that's what this is too. This is one of the papers that I was printing for the pack that I was running out of ink. And so my ink was looking like that. Again, that's the only thing wrong with it. The paper's still good. So I just took it and sanded it because I don't want to waste it. So there's that. Let's see, what else did I do today? Again, that's another one. I just think that sanding the paper is super fun, if you can't tell. It's new to me. It's something that I hadn't done before. Who did I see doing it? I saw somebody doing it and was like, I have got to try that. I thought it worked really well for like when you have a page or a paper that's too bright. Like this postcard here. It's sweet, but it's a little bit bright. So I think it's a good way to kind of dull that down. I've done it before when there's something that's high gloss and I want it to be more matte. See, ooh, I like that. And I like the way it feels after it's sanded too. Okay, let's go ahead and finish. There's that. And that. This is some homemade paper that I got from a store, a local store around here. Where's all my papers? I'm trying to find, there they are. There we go. Oh, this is from a Time magazine. I found an October 1953 issue of, oh, it was Life magazine, not Time magazine, Life magazine. So everybody got a double spread of this in their pack. And there were some Halloween advertisements. So some vintage ads from 1953. I think that this double bubble would be a really good addition to my my little folder here too. I did, yeah. Sometimes it's hard to decide which one you're gonna save, right? I do like those kids, but I think I like the trick-or-treaters over here better. And I'm just gonna tear it. See, and I don't think, maybe just a little bit off the top. I think something like that is super cute just to leave in there. Just to fold up and put in one of the pockets. Just make it a little bit shorter. You can tell how fragile that paper is. Now I got to keep them both. So I'm going to just put that in there, in that pocket. Let's see. This is in there. This is just a paper bag. Put this back in there. Sorry. Put this back in there. And then we'll finish making the tag. Oh, and these vintage recipe cards. I don't even know what that is, but it's some kind of soup. Okay. Oh, and this was over the top here, like so, like that. And that is again one of the mess ups. So nobody else got the mess ups. I'm just playing with the mess up stuff. All right. So I think that now I'm gonna take. I put these little collage papers in here because I want to make like a cluster like these. The cluster that I made one for everybody that got the bag. Let's see. This is the one that I got in my package right here. So I think we'll make one of those. I like doing the clusters, taking some of the fabric. And so in getting ready for this, I made them while I was watching TV in the evenings. Just took a whole bunch of paper and some vintage fabric, some vintage buttons, and kind of made enough clusters for everybody to get one in their pack. So we'll make a fall one here. So I'm going to take this little pumpkin cluster and this kind of, it's like a peach, but it's got a little bit of a polka dot. And just do kind of like a shadow cut around the pumpkins. Ooh, is it getting cooler where you guys are at? It sure has been beautiful here in Kansas. And we had a bunch of cool days, and then we had like this hot spell, and then it got cool again, praise the Lord. Today it was, I think, 77 here, which, I mean, I cannot complain about 77. But the other morning, it was 35 degrees outside. I could not believe it. I messaged my husband and I was like, am I going to have to turn on the heat? He was like, it's really hot in the office. And I'm like, well, good for you. I'm freezing. Well, that's nice. Nice for you, but I'm freezing. I actually sent him a picture. I got a stocking cap out of the closet and put that on my head and sent him a picture. Okay. So we've got this pumpkin and this paper. Let's find some fabric. So this would be more of the romantic goth that I sent. So is that fabric? Where's my other fabric? Y'all, I got stuff everywhere. I see when I dumped the package out, I see my fabric. What did I do with it? Get rid of that. Aha, there's that one. So let's take a little piece of this. Oh, my neighbor's out there on his motorcycle. You guys can probably hear that. So I really like that flower right there. It's the right color. I used pinking shears when I cut these scraps for everyone. I don't like that as well as I thought I would. Where's the other little piece of fabric? There's like a piece of chiffon fabric too that everybody got. I'm gonna cheat and reach into my supply, see if I like this better. It's a little bit too matchy. I've got this cheesecloth here that I kind of dyed. Oh yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the ticket. Just enough of a contrast there. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with the blue. Oh, I unscrewed the wrong cap and unscrewed the whole big cap. Get that out there. And then let's see. I have these little autumn colored beads. I used my other two colors on the front of this. I guess just one color. I had an orange one too, but this blue one will go because I've got the blue cheesecloth there. Oh, come on, you silly thing. There we go. There we go. And I kind of like that just on this little kind of journal card. I have one of my paper clips that I set in vinegar water so that they get rusty and crusty. We'll get one that's got a lot of rust on it here. I'm going to take my little pliers here and just kind of curl the end of the paper clip. Give it a little bit of personality there. Flatten it back out. There we go. Let's figure out how I want it here. There. We've got our little curly Q paper clip and our little pumpkin cluster. Let's see, do I need to do something there to make it match? I don't know if this will work. I get in trouble with this thing trying to use it when I shouldn't too. Oh, it worked. So now that has a little bit of a, just like that does. You know what? Now that I've done that, I want kind of want one more layer. I think I need one more layer of paper there. I've got 3 minutes. So if you guys have embossing folders like I did without a machine, or if you don't have embossing folders, you can still use them even without a machine. Hey, there's my friend Linda. How are you? So yeah, you can use a rolling pin. If it's really thick paper, you can spritz it with some water. Let's see, I got 2 minutes because I think the thing to do would be to, we'll just do this one. So this is going to be on here like that. But I think that the back of this, needs to have, you know, like a pattern like this. I can also do it to the front a little bit. We'll do the sanding paper trick. This is that thicker paper. So it's a little bit harder to do. There we go. There. And then for the back, I think doing like a rubbing. But I'm out of time. I'm out of time. So I think for me, the thing about doing these clusters is, you know, the layers. So there we go. We got our Rusty Crusty Curly Q paper clip. And this isn't quite dry, but okay, if you guys are watching in the Crafty Bunch, just go ahead and refresh your page, and the next person should be up. And my name's Michelle, Belle Creations, and I will see you next time. I'll be back in here on Tuesday. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.